Well, hello. Well, I'm taking a break. I have been very busy today. This morning I went to the dump. I took 2 loads of garbage to the dump, and then I took another load of Elida's desk to town. I took it to her apartment, and as I was taking, she had to go to work, so she couldn't help me do anything with it. So um, I asked a passerby, or actually a passerby saw me pulling this huge part of the desk, this big box, it's like a dresser part, the big huge thing. Cabinet sort of thing. Anyway, and he said, "Would you like some help with that?" Yay! So he helped me take it all the way up the stairs and all the way into the place where it's going to live. How's that for sweet? The rest I got out and I just put there inside the door, but I didn't take them up the stairs. Then I went to the grocery store, and I thought, since Elida's been kind enough to agree to have everybody come to her house for a meal, for not on Christmas, but a Christmas dinner, I went out and did the grocery shopping. And so I got her some groceries, and I took them up to her apartment, and then I came in and I hung out with her. Actually, I hung out with her after I did the desk. She works in the restaurant, and so I sat there and she could talk to me from time to time. That was very nice. I liked being with her. It was a good thing to do on Christmas Eve. And then I went to the grocery store, and then I took it up to her place and put it away, and then I came back down and I hung out with her and had hot chocolate and soup. And then I had to go to the grocery store for us. So I went to the grocery store for us, and that's where I was able to get the turkey, which I hadn't taken to Elida's yet, so I took the turkey over there. And then I went back and hung out with Elida. And their restaurant closed early, and so I was able to talk to her for a while. And then I came home, and I was too burnt out. So I let them bring in all the groceries for me. We put them in the freezer, but all the honey was on top of the freezer. And so naturally, in moving all the honey to one of the boxes, which is not in the right place, it tipped over and it got on all kinds of stuff and in the pathway outside. And I'm not even going to talk about it. Not even going to think about it. And so then I just hung out and wove. Actually, I wasn't weaving. I was setting up the warp. It's very simple, just leaning forward and threading through heddles. I finished all the heddles. I had to put them on the right places where there weren't any on certain harnesses. And then I went to the other side. I pushed the loom out of the way, and I went to sat on the other side of it, and I threaded some of the reeds. I think I did about 20 threads. Willem suggested I go lie down. So here I am, laying down. Yay. I left my laptop in the back of Virginia and Bo's car, so I don't have it. So I give you the update on everything that's been going on. So let's see, on the day they were coming, the 21st, I went to Ottawa. I hung out with Ben in his new house. Then I went over to Daniel's work and had lunch with him. And then I went and picked up Abraham. And then we went to a music store, did a little Christmas shopping. And then we went back and picked up Daniel. And then we picked up Willem. And then we went to the airport. And we waited for Virginia and Bo. And we waited for about 2 hours, I guess, before they came. The flight was delayed, but then after they got landed, it took longer to get everything, immigration and customs and check the bags. I guess that's part of customs. Oh, sorry. You can yawn too. It's Christmas Eve. You can yawn. Well, you can yawn anyway. Maybe it's not Christmas Eve by the time you're watching this. Alright, so then we picked them up from the airport and we went to Ben's house. We hung out with Ben and his wife. And then we went to, we wanted to order some food, but it was kind of difficult to figure out what we wanted. So we all went to a mall and we parked. And there was a Wendy's over here on this side of the car, and there was a Subway on that side. So a few of us went to the Subway, got subs, and came over and met the people at Wendy's. and had a Frosty along with us. So we all sat at all these tables. It was like one of these long bunch of tables you push together to have a meal together, like you do in those nice restaurants. We did at Wendy's. We had Elida and no, we didn't have Elida. We had Daniel, Abraham, Virginia, and Bo, and Ben and his wife. And so then we stayed there pretty late, I guess. And then we went and took Daniel back home. No, I rode with Dad, and the boys, went with Virginia back. So we came home, and it was really bad. It was snowing. It was bad roads. So we came home and worried about them, and finally they came home. And then we sat around. It was about 11 or so. We sat around in the living room and just visited. And then the next morning, that would be yesterday, Virginia and I sat around the living room and visited. And I agreed I wouldn't film them. Film a little bit. But then I also can't find my red camera again. I have the other camera, but the battery is dead. I have to figure it out, plug it all in. I filled up all the bird feeders for the birds, and all the teacups and everything outside. And then Abraham got up, and so we made Virginia taught Abraham how to make eggs. And then we had eggs, and then I made my eggs. I said, this is how I make my eggs. And I have with all my spinach and mushrooms and onions. And then Bo got up, and I hadn't even gone to the grocery store yet because I'd been so busy doing all these other things. I hadn't gotten that part of my list done. So he went up to the corner store and got some few items to make breakfast. So he made breakfast. So we all sat at the kitchen table, which is never sat at, and we had breakfast. Bacon and eggs and toast. It's very nice. And then I was making a Christmas stollen. And when the Christmas stollen was almost ready to go to the oven, Bo was ready to leave. They wanted to. Hi, I'm talking to my people.
Okay.
You're my people. Okay, so I'll talk to you. You're my other person.
The person.
He's my person. You're my people.
Along for the ride too.
He's along for the ride too. My sweetheart. Anyway, so let's see. What did I do after that? Is this interesting? You probably have your own story to tell. So we all had breakfast, and I made Christmas stollen. And before the Christmas stollen went into the oven, I showed Bo how to set up the loom, and I was warping my grandmother's loom. And then Virginia got ready, and I put the Christmas stollen in, and Bo was already ready to go. So I held everybody up. We didn't have Daniel yet. It was Friday, so he was at work. So we got everybody. We all went. Abraham and me and Virginia and Bo. After the Christmas stove was done, we went to Ottawa. And Virginia and Bo bought Abraham. No, we picked up Daniel in Ottawa. And then Virginia and Bo bought shoes, boots for Abraham and Daniel. Isn't that amazing? Oh, that's sweet. So nice. And then we went and got groceries, enough for the dinner, and just took it straight over to Katie's. So we had dinner with Katie and Nick and James and Aaron and the little grandchildren, Lucas and Liam. And that was very fun. Then I rode home with Dad. It's Willem. And Abraham and Daniel came home with Virginia and Bo. And they had to stop and get cookies and do things. And so about 1:30 a.m. they arrived at Elida's house. Because Elida works till late and she gets home, and so she's used to being up late. So they got home and they visited with Elida. All four of them with Elida. And then they left there about 3 or something like that, 2:30. Anyway, they got home here. I was fast asleep at 3 this morning. And then today I went and did all these things I told you about earlier, the dump, Elida's desk, groceries, Elida's work. And meanwhile, Virginia and Bo and Abraham and Daniel they got up around 11, I guess, and then they went off to Ottawa because Bo needs a winter coat because he's here and it's winter. So Willem went out and brought all the groceries in from the car, and I sat and worked. And now here we are, back together again. It's good for me to talk, even if you have to listen. So you can always turn it off at any point, because you don't have to do anything you don't want to. And I do have my other laptop. My other laptop's in the back of Virginia's car. And all the time I was gone today, both cell phones, my mother's phone that I used to call her, and then my phone, they were in a bag which was in the house. So Virginia texted me on her phone to let me know her phone number, but the phone, I don't get cell phone service here because we're way out in the wilderness. So I would have to take my phone and drive to town to get service, at least halfway to town, and then I could get the text message to see what she said. But it'll probably say something like, we are going blah 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 blah, blah and we will be home blah 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 blah. Sorry we missed you, or something. Love you, wish you were here. So now you can tell me your story. Go ahead, I'll listen. You got up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I understand. I understand. I do. And now you got all this work to do, right? Getting ready for Christmas? Oh yeah, man, that's Christmas is tomorrow. We have church, and after church is only going to be an hour long, but it's pretty far away, so it'll take us all morning to be doing church. We'll pick up a light on the way home and have Christmas. And perhaps we'll have everybody go to church. I don't know, probably, maybe not. Maybe we'll have some. Anyway, but I'm going to drive with Willem. And have all these presents to wrap. They're not very many like there is some years. I mean, when the kids were little, there were just huge tons of presents, big sizes of things. But now, it's pretty simple. I guess it's pretty simple. Well, I have to figure it all out. It means I better go to sleep now because I'll have to be up later and figure it out and wrap things and figure out what goes to whom. Okay, well, this is Nancy today, and if you're dealing with family and you have lots of family around, all those family dynamics reenact or rekindle when people all get together, and so careful not to hold people to old movies, or don't expect the same behavior that your teenagers gave you now that they're grown up. But on the other hand, people might be a lot the same as they were and just accept everything anyway. Have a Merry, Merry Christmas. I may talk to you again when I have less to say. Alright, and I can't upload anything because it's on my other laptop. Okay, I'm going to push the button. Oh, I gotta find the button. Well, maybe I'll be here for a little longer. There it is. I see it. It's a red square. Okay, here we go. Didn't work. I guess you're here forever.